Today I'll be showing you this trap. It's very simple and it's a simple little tread set. So pulling this weight up and out of the way, we're going to see that under here we have a little stop for pushing down against, and that way. Right, then we have a little U shape that's going to be our anchor point. This can't get pulled out of the ground, essentially. So then all we need from this point is a stick with a U-notch on each end, opposite from each other, and then a little toggle stick with a little tapered side, only on two edges. Hazel, come. Good girl. I'm recording a video. Alright, now to build the trap. Simply going to eyeball it. Don't need to measure anything, it'll be okay. Use this one as the crossbar at the top. So it's about 20 to 30, about 20 centimetres. That may even be a little bit small, you know. Move these to the side. Look at that, basically equal length anyway. We'll use that as the side pieces. In that case, I'll use this as the crossbar. Make that just a little bit longer than we really need it, I guess. This one. And all we need now is a ground stick and a toggle. No, that's not a lie. We need a tread stick, a ground stick, a toggle. It's easier than it looks. I've definitely made this more complicated. Luckily I'm using Hazel, so it's relatively bendy and you can work it into shape a little bit more. So if it isn't straight, you can sort of bend it. You can see what I'm doing here, just sort of working it straight. I'll probably leave that as it is. It's long enough. It's a little bit bendy, but it'll be okay. And a little toggle. And we need a ground stick. And that's the ground stick done. You don't even need to put any holes in that, or any cuts in that, unless you've got really dense ground. And you'll probably want to have a thicker stick just so that you can take the force of bashing it down into the ground. Right, ground stick, pressure stick. Then we have a U shape built here and a toggle attached to a rope. Simple. Right. We want to make sure that we're working on opposite ends, so we'll say that that's okay there. Just make a little marker so we know, and then cut into it. Sorted. We'll come around to here, we'll flip it over, and we'll call that day again. Sorted. Now all you need to do is make these a little bit bigger. You can do it with a saw if you like, but it's probably easier to just do it with a knife anyway. That'll do. It's about halfway through, roughly, just under. Beautiful. Alright, so that is notch at one end and flip it over, there's a notch on the other. So this is going to be the ground stick, this is going to be resting along that, and then you're going to have the upwards force of the toggle. Where have I put the toggle? There we go. So this toggle, what we're going to want to do is make a V notch, like so. Flip it over. 2 cuts each side is usually good enough. You don't need anything too much. Just needs to be able to just catch onto the tip. You want it to be a nice hair trigger. There we go, that's more than enough. And then just to make my life a little bit easier, about halfway here, we're going to score a little line. Score a little marker. There we go. That's where we're going to put our rope. Ideally you need it in the middle around here, and I'll explain that why in a minute. It's plenty good enough there. Right. Fucking doesn't want to come undone. Take about this much length for now. We don't need anything too much. There you go, simply throw it up, throw it over. We want to pinch this section here and make a little hole. Right, and we're going to throw that under. We're going to pull that through. If you want it to cinch down nice and tightly, you can use 2 wraps around rather than just the one. I hope you can see that. Alright, and then this is just simply sliding around. So we're going to pull that to where we want it. We're going to just cinch that down into place. Alright, that's good. So now we have a little ground peg. Let's get sit in this notch. On this notch, we're going to have a little toggle point on there. And now I'm pulling away from each other in both directions, and it was holding there nicely. Plenty of strength there. Right, now all we need to do is build a little frame. Let's take these sticks. You want a smaller stick and 2 longer sticks, or 2 small sticks and a long stick. It depends on your soil. And that is simply how we're going to do it. We're just going to lash that up with some natural cordage. Same knot once again. Gives a nice tight hold. But this time I am going to use 2 spins around if I've got the length here. Another way to do it would be to just come out here and do it again. Doesn't matter which way you spin it around, it does the same thing. As long as you're going back through that loop and you're pulling back on itself to tighten it on the length of your rope. Once that's nice and tight, you'll know you'll be able to do it safely. Right, so what you want to do is loop it through your cord first. Oh, wrong one. Get it through here. Get it through here. Let's stitch that down nicely. Too busy looking at the camera. Right, once you have that, you just want to start stabilising it. And what I like to do is just put a little half hitch at the end. I don't think I have enough rope for a half hitch, so let's just undo this once more. It's a very simple knot here, but it has so many different uses. It's quite remarkable, really. Definitely a knot for everything. That's relatively tight. It's not going to go anywhere. Where did I put the other stick? Here we go. And we'll just simply do the same thing on this one. Just going to cut off this little knotted section here. Plenty enough, more than enough. Alright, I'll show you this knot one more time. So we're going to loop it over. Throw it, making a little gap here. We're going to loop it round itself twice. Try not to mess up the order of these, really. And straight back through. And pull back. Work it down a little bit just to give myself as much room as I can. And then we start lashing. Now we need to do another half hitch around here just to tie off this so that it doesn't come loose. Work that down nicely. Make sure you always go through the same way. As you can see, I'm coming through underneath this side of the knot. You want to make sure that if you do that once, you do that all 3 to 4 times, 2 to 4 times rather. All depends on your use. I know it's a bit bent out, but that works perfectly. Right. So then you have these two pieces pushed down into the ground. You have your ground stick buried into the ground here. And then using this, let's not jump ahead, we'll go to the toggle. The toggle is going to be attached to a weight at one end of the rope, and you're probably going to have that hanging over a branch, or the other end of the rope you can have like a downed tree, like a flexible tree, like a sapling or something that can be your counterweight. You need tension for this to work. Like with any trap, there needs to be some sort of power. Right, let's get this set up. Come on. There we go. Or not. So this will have one notch sitting on this part. And then under here, your rope's going to be on this side. Let's get this out of the way. Okay, so alright, so you have your frame, and then you're going to have your toggle. Your toggle's going to come out through the back. You're going to have your trap on this side of your toggle. Right, so your toggle comes out from this back section, and your rope goes up and out the back. You're going to pull so that your flat side is going to be resting on this bar. That way, when it's pulling, it wants to pull itself under and out. That force pushing in that direction is going to be pulling this stick out. And obviously, that's not going to be able to move because at this end you'll have a stop. So then, because of the small amount of pressure holding this tight, with a very light touch, the trap will initiate. Let's show you how it works. Okay, so as a quick update at the end of this video, it's illegal to set that trap out in the wild in the UK or even on your own property. So in order to set that trap up, I didn't have any active catching mechanism. I simply used just the weight of the rock on the top. So you're going to want to put this at 100 degrees. And you're going to want it slightly open. I like to put a knife in there just to keep the moisture coming up. You don't want it to get too much hot. If not, it will crack and explode as the moisture tries to escape too fast. You don't want it steaming. And if you do very, very slightly. As I was saying, with this trap, the toggle isn't attached to anything. So all you have is a weight that flies up and out. Right? If you wanted to, you would want to put, this is your tread stick. Right, you'd want to sit on one end with your toggle, and then you'd want your noose to be wrapped all the way around here. So the second they step on it, it's going to drop and it will come all up. Another good way to do it would be to dig a hole and then put this just at the edge of your hole, just on the outside, just on the inside, sorry. Right, so that they have to step on it. And then when they step on it, their foot goes lower into the hole, making sure to wrap their ankle around. Another way to do that would be to cover it in leaves and then put the noose on top of the leaves that are on top of this stick. I thought I'd mention that just so that nobody would make that mistake and blame me for that one. So essentially what we want to do is we want to put this underside notch on the little stick resting, and then as you can see, this is floating around and wanting to drop to the ground. So that's when we take our little toggle and we pull that to whereabouts we need it. Once it's low enough, you want to pull it under so that it's vertical, and then you want to find your notch and you want to rest it within your notch, making sure that your other side is connected. There we go. As you can see, it's an extremely basic trap. The rope pulling up wants this to be pulled outwards. This can't be pulled outwards because the bottom has to move first, but the bottom is attached to this notch in the stick. Obviously this stick wants to be pushed that way, right? So we've got a little stick just to stop it from sliding. And then it's as simple as this.